What's good, BG? Oh, my brother. We'll cover bias. It's always bias, bro. It's never. Gaddy, how are you, bro? How was your sleep? How was breakfast? How was your day yesterday, bro? It's always just bias. You fix your car? Not yet. But what I did was I plugged in an ODS scanner, and to be honest, I don't think I need to change the spark plugs until I get another misfire, bro. Because the last misfire that happened, bro, was like over a month ago, and it only happened once, and it was after a cold start after a long time, and it hasn't happened since. Like there's been nothing wrong with the idling. There's been no engine light. There's been no. There's been no misfire. No like that thing you feel when it's like, if it happens again, then I think I'll open it up. I'll put it in. The thing is, I don't know if they've been changed. I got the car at like 140,000 kilometers, maybe 130. And I'm pretty sure by then he should have changed the spark plugs at least once. Um, so I'll probably just wait, bro. If I get one misfire, I'll just change it again. I breached the account today. Oh, good, bro. You can get another one, and you can join the giveaway, bro. How was your sleep? Sleep was pretty good, bro. Don't be so sure if you haven't. Having one. So what's the idea today after distribution in London? I wouldn't call this distribution in London. We've been consolidating pretty much most of the day. But I haven't changed spark plugs. My idea is wait, see if it misfires ever again, because it's been like over 45 days since it's misfired one time, with no engine light coming on, just one misfire after a cold start. It might have even been more than that, bro. It might have been even 2 months, to be honest. Like, with my competition, I think there's like 15 entries. Just finished inputting. I think there's like 15 entries. Let me check. There are currently, what's good, Mustafa? There's around 13 people in this giveaway right now. Now you're right, William. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But it is possible. It is possible that it just misfires once because of a countless number of things. Didn't start in a long time. It was really cold. It could, and it hasn't happened since. I'll take my chances. So I guess we'll see, bro. I think it'll be fine. Could be old gas, yeah. Exactly. So yeah, you can still join the giveaway. You can join the giveaway until June 15th. And honestly, I think I can do the job myself. I just have to purchase a socket. Just have to purchase a socket, and I think I can do it then, to be honest. I think I can do it, so not too bad. This is NQ. Good, what's good, huh? We'll talk about bias, guys. We're still early. Let's give people a chance to join up, so I don't have to repeat the bias like 5 times. This week kind of hard. So for some people it'll be hard. I mean, for me, Monday was really good. Tuesday was Tuesday was hard to find them. And Tuesday there was no A plus trade. There was no like high probability like I want to take this every time. Like we'll talk about bias. I mean, I'll give you guys my bias. Just give it some time. I'll tell you guys what I'm looking for. Let's go Toffee. Wait, Gaddy, I know you're from Canada, but what time is it for you? I'm exactly with New York time, yeah. Mug, he was here as well. What's good, Mug? What's good, Rubes? Everyone's in here, bro. We're about to take over the world, bro. No, I usually cover buys at like 9:20. It's pretty simple. I mean, usually when bias is really simple, there's not much to cover. I guess we can just cover bias. How was PM? PM was good. I posted the trade. Now, I was driving when I was trading the PM. I wasn't really trading. The model's really easy, so I could just see it when it posted. So I posted where you would have entered in the PM session. I've been teaching you guys my PM session model for those who care. This was the trade. It's a 1R model. You can hold it for more. In this case, it would have went more. 9 out of 10 times, but like 7 or 8 out of 10 times, I just full TP at 1R because it's PM session. I'm just trying to get in and out. It's pretty much the model, man. It's a protraction. So hold on, let's get rid of this. Where did you teach your PM? Only on this stream. I haven't made a video on it. I haven't put it in any writing for anyone. Alpha Features only works on private tab. Is my PC bugged? I think your PC's bugged. You might have to like clear your cache or ask ChatGPT. It'll probably know the answer. I'm rushing to get home before market open. I've been out for 1 hour. Let's go, Robert. Yeah, I don't think it's just you. I mean, I think it's just you, but obviously it's happened before. But anyways, I'm bullish today for multiple reasons. One, there is no reason to be bearish. Absolutely none. I am not trying to pick the top in a bullish market, so there is absolutely no reason to be bullish. Does not make sense to be bullish on the day, on the higher time frame. Okay, on the higher time frame, does not make sense. Yesterday, we traded down. We touched Friday's high, and then we closed above previous day's high. Usually, this is tendency for an explosive price run on the next candle. So we call it immediate rebalance. Previous week's high is always a great target. I mean, we've taken previous week's high almost every single week since the reversal. So I think we can get previous week's high. On top of that, if we're going to go higher than previous week's high, I'm looking at this daily bearish fair value gap. See if we can get to the lower portion of that at least. Now, I'm not going to aim for this, but let's just say hypothetically, I don't know, we find a trade and we hold a runner, like maybe, right? But we have a drawn liquidity on the higher time frame. Now, that's the higher time frame. Intraday, this is to me what makes most sense. So obviously, when I have that higher time frame bias, now I look for the power of 3 to align. That's why I find high probability trades. We do have manipulation below midnight opening price. We've taken out Asia and London low. This could be low of day. It could not be. I don't know. Just like I'm not trying to pick a top, I'm not trying to pick a bottom. I'm going to wait and see if my model forms long, then this is probably low of day, and we're looking for protraction. However, if we do come out here and take this low, which I would personally prefer, I wouldn't even mind shorting it, to be honest, because we left equal lows or relative equal lows with previous PM session low. Not only is this previous PM session low, there's an open 4-hour imbalance right there. So ideally, I want to see price trade into that, because if we do get a rejection, I'm not saying we will, but if we do get a rejection after sweeping out this specific liquidity pool, then if we do get my model from there, it'll be way higher probability, right? And we're just trying to focus on the edge. So we have a higher probability chance taking longs from here than we do from somewhere in here. So I would prefer it come lower and trade into this price level simply because the probability of the long playing out will be better. Does it have to? No, we'll see how it forms. We also have 10 a.m. PMI news. So we could potentially, if we don't catch anything in the first, maybe 15 minutes, then we just probably wait till 10 a.m. It was a task clear. There you go, brother. So that's pretty much the plan. For now, I mean, we can look at this bearish fair value gap, see if it delivers lower. Because remember, we're just thinking about probabilities. We're just simply thinking about probabilities. And I would have a higher probability long from here than I would from any continuation model formed from this. So we'll see. Now, would I short it? I don't know. Unless there's a really clean setup with nice speed, probably not. I won't short it. But we'll see. So for now, that's what we're looking for. Love the analysis. Appreciate you, brother. That's exactly, you know what? Usually I do this. Sometimes I do this after, but for now we can do it in the... I'll show you guys the journal I've been showing you guys recently. Oh, this is the template. Someone was asking for this. I forgot. If you want the journal template, just message me. I'll send it to you. But for now, what I was gonna do is go to Wednesday, and I put in my daily plan. Bullish higher time frame still. Daily RRB plus open. Not trying to pick a top. We did leave. I'll say it very simple. Higher probability longs will form if we sweep previous PM low, relative equal lows, and enter the H4 this. That would just be higher probability longs. And that's all it is, right? It's not like it has to go there, but it's higher probability if it does. And that's all it is. Send the template. You got to message me on Discord if you want the template. Do you think at a certain point there'd be no need to journal? Nope, I think that's bullocks. I think you should always journal. To me, that's like, do you ever stop watching how you played? And like, if you play sports, do you ever stop watching your game review? Hell no, bro. You can always improve. Yo, what do you guys think about these jerseys? Can you guys see that? Are those here now? Font mid on the front. Yeah, the font is pretty mid, to be honest. Do you use this full time? Just this and content. You barely saw it? Shit. I'm trying to get a black jersey, but... Let me message you on Discord. Message me, bro. Yeah, I'll send it in gems right now. I prefer like... It is exactly like Miami Vice, yes. That's exactly what it is. No, I prefer the black, but could be exciting. You can message me whenever, bro. Are those jerseys custom? It's a custom jersey for my team. See you guys messaging for the template, so I'll send it for you. I'll send it to you guys. Are you looking to short? I would be open to shorting towards this price level unless it was really clear, but I am bullish higher time frame. If you guys want the template, yeah, just message me. I'll be sending it to you guys. Yeah, everyone message me, bro. Appreciate you, Tommy. Could be good. No, I'm not fasting today. Cool. All right. If you want the template, just message me. I'll send it to you guys after. Call it 2.5 RSSC key call. 15 minutes. Yeah, valid, bro. Simple. Nice and simple with S&T with 3:45 p.m. low. Yeah, we do, but it's not the ultimate PM liquidity pool, so I think it's possible we still get there, but who knows? What's good, William? You trade with Alpha? Yes. Speaking of, I forgot to open my accounts. Let us open. Okay, so that's the bias. I'm bullish, but the best highest probability long for my model will form around this price level. It also could be acting as a draw liquidity short term, so I wouldn't be opposed to shorting towards that price level and then perhaps maybe later looking for longs. Ideally, I do want to align myself long, but ideally, yeah, like this would be the highest probability long. I'm not gonna long it from up here. I don't trust any of this sell side, so I'll be more patient in that sense. But that's the bias. That's what we're gonna rock with, and then obviously if anything changes, I'll let you guys know. I am gonna minimize chat at 9:30 so I can focus on trading. Why don't you trust this sell side? Because it's pre-market, meaning when market opens, anyone who's already profitable is not gonna get stopped out. That's pretty rare. I don't like that narrative. Just goes up one direction without stopping anyone out. I would prefer it come down. We also have equal lows, which is even more reason for it to come down. And it's a 4-hour bullish right there. We also have 10 a.m. news, which means there could be distortion until 10. So we have 30 minutes of price action. So unless we're just gonna pump for 30 minutes, then it's not the right time to just leave this sell side, right? In my opinion. Now, obviously, if we're really, really bullish, it's not gonna waste any time. It'll just go. But that is what it is. For those of you who don't know, we are running I am running a giveaway with Alpha Futures in the Discord, and we're giving away everything you see in this picture. So we're giving away a chair, computer, and monitor to one lucky person chosen at random. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is, you know what? I'll make you more emotes, bro. I'll make you more emotes, and I'll maybe give you like some sort of highlight badge or something so everyone knows that you're locked in. So if you want to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is use my code on any account and then message me, and I will enter you in the giveaway. If you get a standard account, I mean, you can do that if you want, but right now for the month of June, there's no activation fee on advanced accounts. So if you were to pass in 2 accounts, it's cheaper for you to get an advanced than a standard. But if you're going to take 3 attempts or more, it's cheaper for you to get the standard. So however many attempts you think it's going to take you, if you want to get an account, enter the giveaway, just let me know. Send me a message, and that's it. I'll make more emotes. Screen monitor. It just says screen and monitor. That's a typo. It's 100% going to be a PC, chair, and screen. So everything in this picture. The text is a typo. All right, let's lock in, boys. I will make more. I will make more. What's it called? More emotes. I gotta check this message out. Does this person want the? Oh, cool. All right, we're locked in. So, market open. We probably have a small. Okay, I mean we have a decently sized opening range gap. I'm not gonna mark it out. I don't need to, because the levels for me for today are really clear. So we'll just see. Taking out this short-term high. So if we get a really nice short idea here, I mean maybe it would be a classic model. But I would much rather just align longs. We'll see. I'll probably demand a CISD if I'm gonna go short. So I'd probably de-risk on that setup too. If we get an inversion here and a CISD, I think I would enter short. Say hypothetically, we gotta fill, I don't know, something like this. We can get like, I don't know, around a 30-point stop. Probably just take it with one mini. Quickly take a glance at the YM. Yeah, YM taking out the highs. London high still open on YM. We're about to take it. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get a nice classic model. Pretty slow open, if you ask me. So I'm looking at this CISD potentially, and then potentially this inversion as well. I'd probably demand, like, because it's a counter trend idea, I'd probably demand ES also to come down there. That way, at least it's, you know, just trying to stack the probabilities in my favor. And we also have to respect this fair value gap because otherwise we can't really trust the setup. But anyway, it looks like it's not forming anyway. So probably gonna scratch this short idea for now. It would have been a classic model, which ideally is just like should be fast. This is slow, so we might just have to wait. We could take out buy side and then start breaking down lower. It's also possible. We did leave equal highs in ES. I mean on ES. So let's mark out the buy side here. So see, right now I'm looking at this buy side. If we can take that. I think ideally I do want to align long. In my opinion, previous week's high is a great draw on liquidity. Daily chart looks bullish. but I need that to align intraday. And it's all about probabilities, right? I'm always thinking in a probability manner. And the highest probability trade will form if we come lower first. Ideally, I would much rather it come all the way down here. It doesn't have to, but ideally it does. If we put in a 15-minute bullish fair value gap, I mean that could qualify a nice, maybe we get like a 30-minute CISD here, and then somewhere around 10 a.m. we get something like this. We could take that as well, and then this would be your protected low. I guess if we get closure above this candle's high, we're probably not going to come back down here, which I don't really like because this is like just grinding up. On top of that, I'd have to be longing high of day, which is like similar price action to yesterday. But if that's what it tells us, that's what it tells us. And it looks like we might get closure above. So unless we start to break down in the next couple minutes, we might have to just abandon the potential short idea. Abandon this potential idea. And go from there. Now, technically, this, you could have taken this long right here as a protraction model. Maybe someone did. This bullish order block that traded into this fair value gap. And this could be your 930 low. Not my style. The risk reward wasn't good enough anyways. Could have got 1 hour out of it. Depending on the fill. It looks like we will have to abandon the potential, higher probability idea where we would take this low. I guess we don't need to. If we're gonna get the CISD higher in 30 minutes, that would confirm this protected low. Then we just have to wait for protraction on the day. So what I'm trying to say right now is if we get the higher time frame CISD, which I rarely mark out levels like this, but it's because usually London puts in the low of day. Because it was a different candle, not in London, the CISD is what confirms the move higher. So unless we close above this price level, then I would abandon that short idea and assume this to be your low of day, at least until previous week's high. After previous week's high, I don't know what's going to happen. Right? I'm neutral for the most part, unless we get really signs of continuation. So if we could try to get in long here, expecting the CISD to form on the 15-minute. Is there an hourly one? Pretty much the same thing on the hourly. 30-minute, doesn't really matter. The idea is if we close above these highs, we'll get that CISD. In which case, I'd probably also expect 930 low to be safe. But we'll see what 10 a.m. does. We do have 10 a.m. news. I'm hoping we don't take previous week's high because ideally I want to target that. If that's already taken, right? Again, I'm losing probability on the trade setup. And I'm always thinking in probability and edge. Taking a long towards previous week's high when you're bullish already has more of an edge than just not. So if previous week's high is taken, you don't have the liquidity pool open, the long loses some probability. So first 20 minutes, one-sided expansion. Well, I guess you actually would have taken this long on this candle. Aiming for -1. Yeah, that was already hit. We're about to get -2. It's hard to trust. First presentation. It's right here. First fair value gap in regular trading hours. Let's zoom in here and see it. I don't think there's a volume imbalance. So it's straight off the low. We have our first presentation. Now I'm gonna annotate a 1 standard deviation. So that's how high we can go above previous week's high. I can also annotate the Asian range accumulation. So we have a good objective here. Anywhere in this price level. I do like price potentially going there. You want to get into the real fancy stuff. You can start measuring moves. It's not my style though. I don't really want to take a protract. I mean, maybe. We just took out high of day. I don't want to long at high of day. Really don't want to long at high of day. But like hypothetically speaking, I mean, if we get an inversion out of here, we could look for it. It could just grind up to previous week's high. But the probabilities are not that high in this setup. No for value gap anyways. Oh wait. Wait for the next night. Wait for the next 15 minutes. Like hypothetically speaking, price closed above this price level. That does meet criteria for my model, but it's all about probabilities. And the probability of this is not really the best. You would have a final target like that, and you would have a low hanging fruit objective at -1, which is still 2R, which is kind of insane. But I guess we can just tape read it. I'm not going to execute this trade. It didn't even close above, of course. So even if I wanted to tape read it, it's not a valid trade. I probably expect this inversion to hold for the rest of the day. Well, at least the rest of the session, until previous week's high. We just gotta wait. 9:45. 10 a.m. news. Staying patient. Not gonna get. I really don't want to buy it at high of day. I mean, just like yesterday, we're trading at the highest price point in the day. I don't want to be participating long at that price point. The probabilities are simply not in my favor. If price chooses to retrace, I'll get stopped out for no reason, right? Just because I wanted to try to catch something. So I'd rather wait. If we can get a high probability retracement, I don't know, maybe 50% of this inversion. There's a 5-minute fair value gap overlapping there. We're forming a 10-minute. 15 is going to be a while before it forms. There's a 15 on ES, which is kind of low. I don't expect it to go that low. The 15-minute CISD is forming in 1 minute as well. Maybe something there. 950 macro is in a couple minutes as well. We are getting a nice potential break lower here. And if we don't get that CISD on the 15, then this would be a CISD. Now, technically, it would be here. All right, this is your CISD. On the bigger candles, that would be there as well. We inverse first presentation. The thing is, I can't just flip my bias just because we got this candle, you know. But I did say if we don't get the CISD here, then it doesn't really confirm this idea as this is low of day. So we'll see if we can come lower still. This candle was quite strong. I probably, like I said, I wouldn't take the reversal, but if we do get a protraction lower, that's not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. You see YM breaking down after London highs as well. A lot of people are going to take this inversion on first presentation. But in my opinion, there's... Yeah, no, it definitely could play out. So I'm watching the 15-minute candle here. It does not close above. However, the 30-minute also did not close above. It's hard to say. Maybe if we get an order block here. Did we touch the 5-minute? No, we didn't. Oh, on yes, we did. So I wonder if we get a reinversion there. Let's see if we get a bearish order block here or not. To me, that'll be somewhat telling. A little bit of volatility on that 945 candle. We're at a pretty pivotal point. Higher time frame bias is bullish, but we could go lower before moving higher. So does that mean I'm neutral? Not really, but we'll see. Because right now, I mean, in terms of model, we did get the change in the state here. Let's see if this breaks down lower. Then we have like a nice hang. Like if we can take out sell side, the long will be a lot better, in my opinion. But then again, if we are bullish, we probably respect this inversion. Let's see if we get a, honestly, even just a reinversion of first presentation would be quite significant in itself. I'll mark out this fair value gap like this. I think that's good. We'll go with blue. Again, we're still trading at high of day, so I did want to get long off this inversion. With the 3R to previous week's high. With a 2.2 to -1 standard deviations. We did inverse first presentation there, but that's not a criteria for me to get in long. What's the stop loss looking like? 30 points. Yeah, I'd probably just do a mic. I'll probably just do a mini on this account. Let's switch over to the micro here and start charting. Actually, this isn't even a valid, it is a valid protraction because let me quickly swap here because you can just chart the micro, or we'll execute the micro. Put this at like 15 for now. It is slightly different on the micro. So I'll keep the charting here, and then we'll swap over if anything to execute. I don't think I'll take this inversion though, to be honest. Actually, if the next candle closes higher, nah, even then, it's just not. I don't want to long the high of day. I say that because ES has a bullish fair value gap here as well. So it's like a double protraction model forming right now. Probably risk less on it. I don't think I'm going to take it. There's a lot of reasons it could go higher, but I can still paint a picture where it can go lower. And I want to take trades that are stacked against me. Not potentially stacked against me. So I won't be executing. For now, we'll leave it like this. I was thinking about it, but all about probabilities. Probabilities of this being a really good trade is pretty low, to be honest. It's like we're breaking down. $9.50 macro. We have the 10-minute bearish. We have the 10-minute bullish. If we can get to that, like that would be a lot better. That would be a lot better, in my opinion. So you wouldn't include the volume imbalance here because of that wick. If we could trade here, that would be great. We just, hey, you know what? If you really wanted to, you could take a short like this. It's not even 1R, but like something like this, like probably plays out. I wouldn't take this, but this counter trend. But for the 10-minute fair value gaps there, I think we can get there. And then maybe from there find something higher probability. And we have to mark out this low. The main takeaway here is see if we take out this low or not. As long as we don't take out this low, I can take any inversion back into the range. And I'll be able to trust it as well. But if we take out this low, then we have to look for a full reversal with below opening prices. Seeing speed into that candle. So there we go, full rebalance of the 10. We never closed above on the 30 or the yeah, we never closed above. So interesting. So we'll see. It looks like we might take out that low. We left sort of equal highs on yes. So if we don't take out this low, I can take the next inversion back. Might get kind of tight with the new scheduling, but like if we get an inversion like this, that's a really good trade. It's a lot better of a trade. Could be wicking off the 10-minute. Risk reward would be good. Stop loss would be good. Entry would be good. That's 1.2. You have a clean 3R to -1. 3.7 to previous week's high. If it's a strong inversion, you can even put your stop here. $10 a.m. is a problem though. If this closes lower, like this, puts in a bearish order block here, I'd probably expect this low to get taken then. The risk on this trade would be, again, probably around 15. But maybe we can start off with 10 and scale. The inversion is not really happening. Usually I want to see it quick. Right now it's kind of slow, so it's hard to trust. Makes the probabilities, again, thinking in probabilities, the fact that it hasn't inversed already decreases the probability. So probably we'll opt out of that potential setup and then we'll just wait till 10. If it happened right then and there, I can see a situation where it takes out the high before 10. But now, in my opinion, it might take out this low. So I'm just going to have to wait and see. Just going to have to wait and see. We're inside that 5-minute formed off the open. 10-minute, 15-minute meter rebalance. Perfect equal lows left over there. However, it is not an SMT. YM is also accumulating around New York Open. Pretty sloppy. Hopefully 10 a.m. makes things a little bit easier or quicker, more obvious. If you guys have any questions, like I don't keep chat open when I'm trading. I see people asking questions. I try to focus mostly on the tape reading and on the candles. If I read chat, I'll get distracted and likely miss something or make a mistake. But you can always message me on Discord, my free Discord. You can always message me and add me. I may not add you back, but I'll respond to your messages. So we're probably gonna wait till news here. If we got the inversion on this candle, that would have been quite high probability. I would have expected this high to get taken before news. But now it's showing signs of neutral order flow, meaning we're respecting premium and discount at the exact same time. So we're probably going to be sideways, or at least nothing high probability until 10. So we're going to have to wait till 10 a.m. news, and then we'll formulate something, which is fine. Obviously, I think waiting that first 30 minutes was pretty crucial. I would not have really found a high probability long. Obviously, there was one protraction model that led to -1, but that's not the kind of trade I'm looking to take. It's not my style, but obviously in hindsight. In fact, I mean, you would have got, let's just say, an easy like 2R, but it's not my style. Taking protraction longs forming off of the break of high of day is not ideal. Now, if you took it like this, I mean, that's a pretty strong 1R trade just to that buy side, I guess, but it's all good. I have to remember to switch over to the micro. We'll execute around anywhere from 10 to 20 contracts on this account, and then on the alpha, half of whatever we do on the main. 3 minutes until news, 10 a.m. PMI. Usually a decently sized candle. Better just wait. I would prefer, honestly, I still see a scenario where we come all the way down here and then reverse going into like lunch. So I'm still open. I'm still open for that, right? Just because I'm bullish doesn't mean it has to happen right now, this very session, this very moment. I still think there's a possible scenario that we come down here first. So if I start seeing signatures of that, we may have to, opt out of longs for the morning session. Because, I mean, we swept buy side, right? So we didn't get the CISD higher. But I am bullish. So we're just going to have to wait. Wait till 10 a.m. news. Hopefully it clears it up. If 10 a.m. news just drops lower, obviously we know what we're looking for. Previous PM session low. And then, or maybe a reversal from that level. Because remember the 4-hour bullish fair value gap there. But if it doesn't do that, then we have to obviously reconvene and see what's going on. And we left equal lows here. So for now, equal lows always a good target. Doesn't matter where, when, or who. We do have an S&T right here, but I don't really care about that. I'm not even going to mark it out. We're still inside that 5-minute bullish fair value gap, which is only relevant under one specific scenario. And that scenario is that this low is protected. So I'll keep that. I'll keep this annotated because I want to see if we show signs of taking out this low. Because for me, this matters. If we take out this low, the model I have to trade is a little bit different. I can't just take an inversion or an order block. I'd have to wait for another breaker, another confirmation of a shift. CISD. So I will keep this marked because if we show signs of respecting it, 50%, then that's probably the most important part. Now, for simplicity's sake, I suppose we could just mark out this fair value gap. Keep it nice and simple because it's right there. One more minute. At this point, if you're entering a trade, you're pretty much just gambling. You're hoping news is going to go in your favor. Honestly, if you entered a trade anywhere after 9:52, in my opinion, you're just probably gambling. There's really no point in trying to predict the news candle. We're literally 50% of a range with equal highs and equal lows. There's really no telling what this news candle is going to do. If I had to guess, if it was me, I would send it lower because we've engineered these equal lows here most recently. So I would personally send it lower. There's also been a lack of run on sell side this entire move. So if it was me, 10 a.m. news, I'm sending that shit lower. And then looking for a reversal if I was smart money. But then again, I don't know. Maybe smart money has been entered since freaking pre-market and they're gonna send 10 a.m. news to previous week's high, close their, and then take off their positions there or something. Just speculating. Just speculating. So there's 10 a.m. news. Looks like it is gonna dump lower. Did the micro just open? What? Look where the micro candle opened, bro. That's funny. So there's that news. Yeah. So see, I mean, that's what I would have done too. So I'm basically If they want to sign me up, if anyone's listening to this, you need a new market maker in town, let me know. I'll happily accept the job. No, but on a real note, now I want to see the most important part here is, do we take out this low and trade into here, or do we start aggressively wicking and respecting, for example, let's say this 15-minute bullish fair value gap on the S&P. There's also a 30-minute. I'll probably mark out the 30 minutes quite clean. So I'll mark that out. We'll see. To make it simple, it's pretty much this low here. So we do get a kind of significant wick. Where's my liquidity? Okay. So we'll see. So this is where we could actually start, grading the order flow and seeing it and potentially seeing it live. If we're bullish, we should respect 50% of this wick and come close this up real quick. If we start getting below here, I'm looking at this potential low, and like I said, that previous PM session low idea, in which case we can actually look for a protraction model because the CFD has already occurred. The protraction model, we could take it short. We just couldn't take it long anymore because we have a new low below 930. So very simple idea. Watching this candle. I don't think we have an SMT anywhere. Like, to me, I think this did its business. So see if we get an inversion here. Watch seconds on that. The micro looks hella weird. The micro, the discrepancy there is kind of absurd, but for me, I always do the mini. Also, what the hell's going on here? So it's weird. Is this even a fair value gap? Yeah, it is. It's like this, I guess. Wow, that's weird. Anyways. So, I mean, yeah, there's obviously discrepancy between the micro and the mini. It's fine. I always chart the mini and then execute the micro. That's just how I've ever done it. That's how I've always done it in backtest. How I've always ever done it live. So I'm just going to stick with that. I mean, the Nasdaq did go slightly lower than the NQ. But than the S&P, but like I said, it's pretty simple. If we can respect 50% of this wick and we get the inversion, that's pretty good enough. That's pretty good signatures enough for me. If not, then I likely opt for a protraction model. In fact, the protraction model has already formed on the S&P 500. I'm not going to execute it, but I'll tape read. It would look something like this, to be honest. So this is what it would look like. Because we got the top of the fair value gap there, we quite didn't get it on NQ. It's probably going to speed up toward those lows. So we'll see. Anyways. Like this. Flip that annotation just so it's correct. This is probably going to get sent lower, and I think rapidly, but we'll see. Did close below 50% there. The lower this goes, the more liquidity is being engineered higher, so I'm not like I'm not too opposed to just looking for reversal. Like that original idea where we come down here is probably going to pan out. So I'm going to re-annotate this 4-hour bullish fair value gap. Send it to the right so I can see this 50% level when the time comes. And we can remove that marker. I don't need that. If we get a protraction, I don't mind taking it. But I don't think we're going to get one. Like I said, ES already formed one, but it's so far down now. Just going to stay patient. again, we don't have any open above 10 a.m., so it's good reason to go higher. Usually, when that happens, it's pretty much just a manipulation leg. Still respecting that 15 on ES. Goes below 50%, traded back into it, went lower, trading into 75%. See if it respects it and goes lower. Here's a small fair value gap right here. If we trade into this fair value gap and get an order block, I would short the previous PM low. There's midnight open and 8:30 open. What's the stock market doing? Ooh, Palantir is really nice and down. How down is it on the week, month? Not a bad price level. If it probably comes down here, I'll buy more. Ugh. Looks like we're gonna enter that 4 hour. You can see that macro distribution. Didn't really give us a protraction model that I could trust, so not feeling like I missed anything or anything like that. It's a 10 a.m. news trade. So we'll see. We get down in here. And we could potentially look for a reversal. Now this is really, really heavy, so unless we get something really clean, like, I don't know, something like that, I mean, it's hard to trust a reversal, so this could potentially just be the move. Ideally, this would have formed, like, the best thing that could have happened is we went down at 9:30, and then 10 a.m. we traded up. I don't prefer it happening this way, but we were right about that original draw on liquidity, which was that 4 hour previous PM session low. And like we said, higher probability longs will form now, if it forms, but it will be higher probability than it would be rather if we didn't. We did take out the low there, below midnight, below 8:30. We could potentially get a really nice long here. And this volume imbalance, I mean, it's staring at me. Just staring at me. I think the micro even has a bigger one. Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Right. Previous PM session low, it's almost there. I don't see myself shorting it to this price level. I mean, I don't know, maybe I don't see how it's gonna form a good risk reward, so maybe if we put in a bullish for value gap somehow. I don't trust this first move up. Not yet, at least. If I wanted to go long, we'd have to get a CISD. So I'm not even gonna. There's no point in me like measuring our R and stuff here. It's not my trade. I need a CISD to go in long. In fact, we haven't even reached a high time frame level that I was expecting. So Ideally, waiting for that. I see the 5-minute bearish in there. Keep it simple. We'll just remark out this wick. So we're in that 5-minute bearish. I don't mind taking a protraction model short. We do have SMTs there. Kind of defeats the whole purpose. The whole point was the 4-hour bullish, and we didn't even trade into it. Makes things kind of a little bit difficult. But again, this could be a fake move higher. So if we get an inversion back down, I would potentially go long. If we don't get the inversion and we get the CISD, then I'll wait for protraction long. And that's pretty much my session. At that point, one of those trades will play out, and if not, there's not much more we can do, maybe. So if we get a protraction model from this 5-minute bearish, that would make sense. It would be quite high probability in my opinion. I can't look for longs without breaking rules unless we get the change in the state of delivery at this price point. So I'll mark that out with a red line. If we get the CISD here, then we can start looking for longs. Obviously, I'm not going to take a trade like this. That would be absolutely absurd. I'm going to wait for a protraction to form for better risk reward purposes. So we'll see. Right now, looking at this, if this inverses, that would be great. We'll mark it out as blue. Nice light blue. Oh, that's what I want to see. Because we didn't get the CISD, I'm not trusting any longs right now. What's happening? So I'm watching to see if this inverses. If it does, I will execute short, targeting the 4-hour previous PM session low. Would be probably around it, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll probably stick with 10 and 5. If it doesn't inverse, then we most likely get the CISD, in which case all criteria is met for us to align. And we got the SMT at the low. I'm going to mark this orange and not mark it out as an inversion yet. Just waiting. Being patient. Yes, it's still respecting that 15-minute. Again, but I can't go long unless we get a CISD. I'm not here to break any rules. No reversal trades unless there's a breaker or a change in the state. Have not got that yet. So there's no point in me sweating. Well, I'm not sweating, just simply waiting. There's no point in me like trying to frame a trade long yet. The criteria is not even there. So we'll see how price trades into this imbalance. We'll see if we do in fact come for those equal lows. There and there. And we'll see. Yeah. If we can get maybe something like this, then we can take that second leg. But besides that, no trades here. Unless, yeah, no, not really. Staying patient. New 15-minute candle opening right now. See what it does. I mean, I probably expect it to be a bullish candle if I had to try and predict because how this one closed. And we got the SMT, the sell side, like this. We didn't touch the 4-hour, but we took out sell side. We're still inside that hourly imbalance from a while ago, so it's not like it's invalid. So we'll see. Again, can't take any longs yet, unfortunately. Not unfortunate. Shouldn't say unfortunate. We don't know where this is gonna go. We do get that CISD, then we could potentially start framing a protraction model. We could even perhaps take a trade like this. It's not really my style, if I'm being honest. I don't like it. I'd probably have to wait for a protraction if we got the CISD. I'm gonna scan the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, I'm joking. The 1 minute is probably the cleanest. Just clean run of sell side. That entire range, take 50%. Yeah, it's over there. This is probably a potential breakaway. I don't know. 2, 3. We still could go lower. I can still paint both sides. I don't like the fact that we did. If we had just wicked into the 4 hour here, it would have been a lot easier to take a long right now. A lot easier. But the fact that we left these perfect equal lows, and it's a very key low. I mean, did we trade into the RB at least? No. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think we may get a bearish CISD here, but let's see. Just stay patient. We do have a bullish fair value gap here. So if price does close above this level, we could take that. Could very well. No, sorry, that's not that's incorrect what I said. This would have to be a down close candle too. I have to wait and see. Will you mark this low out? Okay, that is correct. 4, 3, 2. I mean, yeah, the 3 minute here is quite clear as day. I don't think it's time for it to go lower yet. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's really at that pivotal point. We have an SMT here. I'm gonna stop marking out CISDs and stay neutral until it's pretty obvious what's gonna happen. Again, yeah, we're probably gonna go 10 and 5 micros today. See if we get a bullish order block there. We quickly glance the YM. Pretty much the same. We'll be looking at the YM, see what's going on. We do have the S equal lows there on the YM as well. Closure above here would be an order block. We got back above this wick. Traded to 50% perfectly. I personally don't think that's a coincidence. Watching the closure of this candle. Kind of slow now. Just kind of shitty. We didn't close above there. We get an SMT up there as well. Quite lame if you ask me, but we'll see what happens. This candle closed above. That would have been a buy entry for me. This would have been a bullish order block. Now we have to wait. Still could be on the 2-minute. Doesn't look like we're going to get that closure. Nope, no closure above. So we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait. Wait for some more clarity. The SMT is still there. Not showing the signatures of bearish order flow that I would like to see. Neutral. Stuck between bullish and bearish order flow. I can see my model potentially forming short here, but it's really neutral. It's really neutral. And I want to align with my bias. So let's just wait and see. Just make sure our level's marked out correctly. I'm gonna just sit on my hands for a bit and see what happens here. We did leave those equal lows. We never shifted bullish at any point here. This is simply one long retracement. Now, if we got the shift bullish, it's a different story, but I mean, we didn't. We came up, traded into the fair value gap on the 5-minute. We got an SMT at the highs. We never got that CISD higher. 10:30 is a key time for us. It's in 6 more minutes. We could potentially frame a higher probability trade if we wait for 10:30 and use that opening price as a reference point for range expansion. Somewhat looks like we're neutral now. YM slightly printing higher off the fair value gap. ES slightly lower. ES sideways and Q slightly lower. SMT highs and lows. Not the easiest. Don't feel like I've missed anything here. I mean, to be honest, I don't even think my model really formed. It formed for shorts here, but I wasn't bearish, so I wouldn't take this trade, especially with 10 a.m. news lingering. Yeah, I mean, somewhat sideways. We got another S&P at the highs now, this time favoring Nasdaq going lower. 10:30 in 4 minutes. It's a key time. Just have to wait till 10:30 open and see if we get, something way more clear. Is there a bullish fair value gap down there, or are we just time distortion? The order block would be here, not this. I mean, like we will get that CISD higher if this continues. We'll have to take the next retraction model though. I'm not going to take it like this. We have to take it like this, and that's just like awful. Watch this candle print. I'm going to de-risk if I take this. Just watching this candle print, not doing anything else difficult. I see the bullish fair value gap. I see the bullish order block. Watching the candle print, see how it trades. Waiting. Don't want to buy it up here. Candle opened here, and this candle closed right here. I mean, this is a micro though. Yep, I don't want to buy it up there. That's too much displacement. That's like almost my entire stop loss size if I were to just take the trade. So I'm not gonna take the position from up here. Now, obviously, I could have gotten a fill on this order block. Like that's kind of hindsight. It very much easily could have just went a little bit lower and traded into the fair value gap. This could be a breakaway gap. $10.24. may have missed it, to be honest. I mean, we have a 2-minute here. Let's see if we could just trade back lower into this, get an OB. We can take that 10:30. This is 10:30 open as well now, so if we could really just boom, that's a nice signal for me, to be honest. That would be a nice signal for me. And if it just goes, I'll sit out. It was difficult to navigate this price action anyways, so I won't feel like I'm missing out on anything. That's for sure. So don't need this OB marker. Not go to the 2-minute fair value gap correctly. But there's a tap of the 2-minute. Might be finally our first possible high probability trade. I'll mark out 10:30 open here just so you guys see what I'm seeing. New 10:30 power 3 idea. That is not really the trade that was like the most minimal tap. I was expecting, a little bit more, but I might just take it like this if it closes above. I mean, that's the model. It would have to close above. Did not close above, so not yet. Of course not. That would be too easy if it were to just do. There's no reason to make a lower low than this, to be honest. There's no reason to. Everything is rebalanced lower. Yes, it's almost at the buy side, man. Why do we have to get? Unfortunately, it's just like tough conditions. Like the model's not forming. It would have formed here. I would have clicked buy. I was hovering, but then it wicked. Could take it now, but it's less. Now the probability has decreased. Yes is right there to the buy side. I mean, you could take it if you wanted to. I'm gonna have to opt out. This trade is just. It's not that good. Simply just not that good. Maybe here if just a 2-minute. If the 2-minute can close, it's a little bit easier to trust. I mean, there's no body on that candle, which sucks, but watching this next candle. I'm just watching it. If it like trades and it starts printing higher, I'm gonna de-risk on this trade though. If I execute. I'm viewing this as a bullish order block. That's the premise. I would definitely de-risk on this trade though. What I prefer happens, we take out this low and get another setup that's way cleaner than this falseness. That's what I would prefer. And 50 macros in 15 minutes, just slightly too long. It's not easy, man. It's not easy price action to navigate. I mean, we didn't get a single bullish change in the state of delivery that was clean. It took every single one, took like multiple minutes. This one over here took like almost 10 minutes to form, 11 minutes to form. Like I know when I have my PM session model, I know I can just go in the PM session and have like a 70 to 80% chance of winning like a 1 hour trade. I'd rather just do that than force a setup here. Just nothing clean. We're gonna have to just wait for 1050. And if 1050 can give us, a nice delivery session, nice delivery, then we'll just take that. It's not there. It's just not there. The probabilities are low. 1050 macros, 14 minutes. Again, probabilities increase at that time. I'm always thinking in probabilities and edge. If I can get a protraction model at 1050 macro, that's gonna be way better than this. I mean, this is just awful. Not to mention the SMT that's gonna form when ES takes out this high. That's something we're gonna have to obviously deal with. Now we could go higher, obviously previous week's high and such, but it's really no telling. Presentations over here. I mean, really no telling, right? There's really no telling. If there was a clean 5-minute fair value gap, maybe ES has one. Could potentially use that. But like when you have a PM session model that's so simple, or you have a model that you can kind of fall back on to deliver like 1R at a high win rate, makes me not want to force a trade in this now. But I mean, let's see. ES just traded into the 5-minute bullish fair value gap, so we finally have something we can maybe frame something high probability on. So we'll see. We'll see. This is what I want to see. Like just large candles, not so much overlap. Like this. I want to see like this over here. So there's that fair value gap that I wanted earlier. Good that we were patient. See, it's a good thing we were patient. We would have been stopped out if we took any long here. I mean, my stop would be somewhere here, but still, I would not be feeling too clean in this. Strong candle, very strong candle going down. No, it took us like 11 minutes to move 57 points, and then 1 minute we just moved half of it. But now if we get a clean inversion, at least that's a way better trade, right? Way better trade. We have kind of a Fibonacci thing going on here. So we get an inversion now. It's a way better trade. 1040, kind of going into the macro. A little bit early, but obviously we have to respect this fair value gap though. If we don't, then well, that defeats the whole purpose of the protraction. So we'll see. Or then we have to take out these lows. We'll see. Again, I don't normally mark out 1030 open, but for those of you who can visually see the power of 3, we opened at 1030. So far, this is what the candle has done. My probability and my edge states that if we come above here, we have a protected low and I'm bullish, I can achieve around 70%. So we'll see. If we get an inversion here, I'm in. Like, to me, this is a no hesitation. This is a simple, very clean setup. We just have to get the inversion. I put my stop around here. target the buy side or something. 20 points, that's 40.1. Be probably a 20 micro trade. But we'll see if we get the inversion or not. No inversion. I mean, if previous week's high stays open, then PM session could potentially deliver. Let me make this blue. Will be IPG marker so people know. This could be potentially a bullish order block. Still respecting that bullish fair value gap. So nothing wrong about that. Respecting the opening range gap high. I know it's there. Signs of bullish order flow would be respecting this wick 50%. If we can start seeing these signatures, again, I'll push the button long, but I'm not going to force anything. So because we took out this low, if we get closure above here, I'm viewing this as an order block. And I would expect that inversion to come soon after. Respecting this wick would be signs of bullish order flow. Respecting this fair value gap, again, signs of bullish order flow. Forming the order block, signs of bullish order flow. Stop loss would then be around 25 points, so we can probably just call this like an 18. I mean 20 still covers the risk, so it's not like we're over risking if we do 20. 7 minutes until the 10:50 macro. That's pretty much our last key time. 10:30 hasn't really given us anything. 10 a.m. hasn't really given us anything. 9:30 hasn't really given us anything. So we got 10:50 macro now. It's pretty much our last sweet spot for looking for a high probability trade. Oh, look, we have 400 people. Did the TikTok live end? Oh no, I'm still live. So we'll see. 6 minutes and 30 seconds until the macro. If we get a setup here before the macro, I can take it, expecting the macro to distribute. Yeah, I mean, 10:30 didn't really do much. 10, like, we didn't miss anything here, you know? We definitely didn't miss anything. Maybe we could have squeezed out 1R, maybe 2 if we had perfect stop loss placement. But I mean, come on, there's really nothing here too. Like, this wouldn't even give us 1R, right? That was pretty much the only setup that formed that I could possibly even take. So very good patience by me so far. Very happy with my performance. But again, session's not over. We still have the macro, which I'm looking to trade. So staying patient. We do have an S&T here right now. So I'll remove that wick marker. So okay, I'm just trying to see if we get closure above this level or not. If we do, the entry signal for me. New 50-minute candle's about to open. Could potentially, frame a potential range expansion idea. Oh, this 15-minute candle. We'd probably trade a little bit lower than that. Yeah. Pretty neutral here. Pretty neutral morning. We're at 50% of the opening. There's no imbalance down there. Nothing very obvious on any time frame. We're just gonna have to go based off the macro, see if a protraction model forms that we can trust or not. If it forms, we'll take it inside the macro. If it doesn't, well, I'll look for my PM session, try to print 1R, high probability trade. See how low this goes, because we are putting in an SMT right here. I don't know if it's gonna hold or not, but we'll just see. I'm just marking it out because it's there currently. It hasn't put in a swing high or swing low yet, so we don't know if it's actually gonna form. Look at the 15-minute chart here. Quite awful. Was it the? I mean, that 30-minute bullish fair value gap is actually still holding, which is quite interesting. The hourly looks so bad. Like, are we really gonna have consolidation in London, Asia, pre-market, and New York? PM session might deliver the best move we've seen last session, or it's gonna be a lunch move. I'd probably expect lunch to deliver if nothing happens in this last macro. But to be honest, I think something might happen in this last macro. So let's see. Let us see. So 15-minute candle, like I said, is open, traded lower, put it in SMT. If we get a CISD, although I don't usually frame 15-minute power of 3 range expansions, we could potentially frame one here going into the macro. Distribution projections align. This might be a buy signal for me. I'm going to be de-risking. I'm not telling anyone they have to de-risk if they take a trade today, but I'm going to be de-risking personally. So I'm looking to see if we get the order block here. Of course we don't. Yet again, we wick right at the level where we're looking for a confirmation. So we're going to wait a little bit longer. 2 minutes till the macro. I mean, 23. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably do 20 and 10. Quickly view the 2, 3. I have to wait for closure. I mean, this could be a breaker. We could take it on that instead. We're probably going to get in long here on the next candle. My stop will cover that wick, so we'll probably get in long here on the next candle. And you know what? We'll de-risk. We'll do 20. 20 micros is still de-risk on this account, so. All right. That's enough for me. So I'll de-risk, but I will take this trade. So I'm looking for this long going into the macro. We got the the SMT here, and we got closure above the down close candle. I'm viewing this as a bullish order block. I want to see price give me an inversion here. That would be confirmation that it's going to go higher. Slightly de-risking on this account. It's an eval account, so it may not look like I'm de-risking, but personally I am. And we'll see. I think we did get the 2 minute, no 2 minute CISD yet. We did trade into a 2 minute bearish fair value gap right there. Top is covering the majority of this low, the body low, and this wick. Shouldn't come down here. At this point, if it comes down here, the probabilities are way too low. Small bullish fair value gap right there. See if that holds. I'll mark that out like that. Stop is 709. Probably not gonna touch my stop. Not probably. Stop is staying exactly where it is. Covers that bullish fair value gap. So if this fair value gap inverses, I don't want to be in the trade anyway. So Primarily all drawdown since entry. We did leave equal highs on the S. It inverse, but ever so slightly. We'll just accept the risk here. I'm willing to pay the price to find out that whether or not it comes back up. So we'll just see what happens. I don't see myself taking another one, to be honest. Like I said, I'll probably just fall back to the PM session if this fails. 5 points away. I mean, the idea is we shouldn't close below the body. So as long as that stays true, I'm not worried. But, I mean, you should never be worried anyways. It's just about edge and probability. There's an SMT here. We got the OB with a 1030 power 3 going to 1050 macro, and I was predisposed to look for higher. Edge is in my favor. So bearish fair value gap right there. See how that trades. I'm not gonna keep it annotated, but I'll keep this inversion annotated. We don't need 1030 annotated as well. We shouldn't make a lower low here. If we do, it's probably gonna be an SL. Hmm. 4 points away from our stop loss. 5 points, 6 points. Just waiting, seeing. Not much we can do. I'm not gonna adjust the risk or anything. I mean the stop loss placement. Should cover. $10.53, so 4 minutes into the macro. We are getting one candle expanding higher, but we don't have to wait for the close before we can see anything significant. For example, this bearish fair value gap on yes. We can maybe inverse that. It is giving me a chance here to get out break even in case this trade is incorrect, but we didn't close below the body. So I'm just gonna wait and see. It is the macro. I already de-risked, so I'm not really thinking about closing early on around break even. We didn't get the inversion on ES. Okay, that would have been a really nice follow through. I'm willing to pay the price to find out on whether or not this plays. Like that's all it comes down to. Very simple idea. We'll see if we get the inversion or not. Like I'm willing to pay the price to find out whether or not this inverses, in which case it'll probably form the higher high and then continue to the buy side. And if it doesn't, well, that's trading. It's all about edge at the end of the day. In terms of standard deviations, I've already marked out -1 on the protraction, so we'll see if we can get that. This is not another protraction, so I'm not moving my stop yet. Again, giving me another chance here to get out around break even. Not gonna take it. Nope, we didn't get the inversion on ES, so kind of going sideways here. First time this trade has ever been in green. Not that that matters, but what I'm focused on is, do we get closure above here? I mean, that's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the body of the candle and see if we get closure above here. Or if we get the inversion, that would be probably just as confirming. So Ideally, this inverses. So if we can get above 50% and this high, it's a pretty good sign. We did not get above 50% or the high, so I'm watching the next candle. Pretty lackluster macro. 7 minutes of, or 6 minutes of. We've only covered around 25 points in 6 minutes. Remove that inversion marker. The midpoint there. We may finally get that inversion. We don't know yet. Wait for the candle to close and then we'll know. Again, I'm not moving my stop until another protraction model forms. That's just how I trade. And I don't really see one forming here anytime soon. So the 5 minutes quite clean compared to the other time frames. 3 minutes, not bad. So if we can, yeah, pretty much just looking at this high here, the minor buy side. So I want to see the speed in which we get to this level. That will be telling on how high this can potentially go. -1 again is a minimum for me. I'm not going to partial there. I'm probably just going to hold this. And I know we didn't form another protraction model, but if we make a lower low here, probably do not want to be in this trade. So I'm going to bump the stop towards 715. I'm going to reduce the risk there slightly. But there's a small inversion in there. See this right here? We do get the inversion fair value gap there. Let me confirm on the 2 minute. We do get the inversion there. So it's a good sign. First presentation is on its way. I'm not going to hold this to previous week high, but I think I want to take my stop and bump it to 2722, which covers the low of that inversion on the 2 minute right here. If we're going to trade back into it, I would expect it to be, ideally staying in the upper portion. So cutting my risk by almost half. Pretty much by half. 722.5, which covers that. So just covering that inversion that formed, meaning if we come back here, we shouldn't be coming all the way down. We should be primarily staying up on the upper portion. So I'm about 1R right now. Not really looking to close this. Normally we could maybe take a partial here at 1R, but right now I'm getting pretty good feedback that it's, somewhat going higher. So there's not really any point in closing. My main objective was previous week's high, right? I'm not going to hold it there, but if that's the drop, we could at least get these equal highs on ES. And maybe that'd be a better first partial. We also closed inside first presentation. Now we could cover costs here. And I think that's what I'm going to probably do. Tattoos, 30 times 5, 150. I'm going to bring the stop. I'm going to bring the stop even closer. covering that low of the inversion completely now. Because we have a bullish fair value gap here, and we have this inversion, primarily I'm basically risk free on this trade now. I think that's good risk management, you know, and we'll put this at, just to be very precise there, 732.5. Do not want to see a trade to the low of that inversion. So we managed to cut risk by over 80% at this point. I'm looking at this bullish fair value gap. We've already reached -1, which is the minimum of this setup. We're getting above first presentation now. We are above 1R on the trade. At this point, this is an institutional order flow entry drill. And I'm looking at the buy side here. Making that nice and bold. And we have a higher time frame objective over there. I'm going to take my first partial. At the high of the first presentation. This partial covers costs. I meant to take only 4. I accidentally took 6. We do inverse first presentation there. A couple bearish fair value gaps in here. I think the 5-minute would clear it up. The 3-minute, 2-minute. You can see the 2-minute in there. Overlapping. I don't normally use sell limits, but we'll drag this up. Somewhere there. So happy with this trade now. Risk free. Simply just holding to see. Macro's over. It's 5 minutes. Never actually traded into that bullish fair value gap. The S&P did. Not really any logical levels to trail my stop to. I think 734 here. The low of that 5-minute fair value gap. But to be honest, I just put it like this so I can see the ticks for you guys. I don't really care about the 4, 2, or 3 point difference. But what I'm talking about here is this 5-minute bullish fair value gap. We can trade into that. So, you know, let me just. And my stop covers just the low of that. Now, ideally, this stays open. I'll even put it really base. Oh. Because I want to see the buy side get taken. I don't want to see it come back. Now, if there's a protraction model in there, I will scale my stop. There's a protraction model in there. Watching closely before I take my next partial. Almost 2R now on the trade. So we could always look to close around 2R. You know, there's nothing ever wrong with closing around 2R. I'm not looking to give back profits here. I want to see a spike through here. I expect it to spike through. Oh, ES kind of spiked through, but I'm taking another partial there. Yeah, pick up the buy side there. So I can always add inside this 5-minute as well if we get a model, right? So if we get something like this, I'll add. I don't mind. I already took some off, claimed profits. It's a good trade. The reason I didn't scale into this position, well, it didn't give me any opportunity to scale. So that's just simply why. Didn't give me any opportunity. I'm looking at this buy side here. ES is almost going to reach, so I kind of want to take the bulk off there. I'll leave a runner to previous week's high. I mean, how much will that runner cost? 80? Yeah, it's worth it, I think. Leave the 2 runners. You could close this trade around 2R right now. It's kind of just going sideways a little bit. Yep, I'm gonna take it off there on my alpha account. But I think the rest here will leave it. So on alpha I closed 2R. I don't like how it was not speeding up here. Small bullish fair value gap there. If we make a higher high, I trail my stop. So if we close above here, I'm trailing my stop to the short-term low. Should be speed toward the buy side. Again, we don't have to take out this buy side. So be very diligent here. I'm not trying to get back profits. If I don't see those signatures that I should be seeing, it's all about probabilities, right? And if we are here to make a lower low here, the probabilities of this reaching TP before I sell drastically decrease. Giving it a chance, see if it wants to start displacing higher aggressively. I don't really want to hold through that 5-minute. I think I'm going to close the trade here and we'll get around 1.5R. I'm going to give this one candle a chance because of the nobody here, but if this closes below, I'll take it out at like 1.5. Remember, I already closed on my alpha account 2R, so just watching this candle body. In fact, what we can do is just bump the stop here to 755. And in fact, I'll bump the stop right here. 767. That's what I wanted to see. That's why I waited for the candle to close. But we'll see if it actually follows through or not. I mean, we don't know. Staring at the buy side here on ES. Staring at the buy side. Staring at the buy side. Watching ES. If it pokes through, I'm trilling the. I'm bringing it up there. Looks like it will stab through here. A 10-point difference at this point. But the thing is, there could be runners, so that's why I'm being slightly patient. We have the trailed stop at above 1.5R at this point, so very happy with the trade management. We managed well. No opportunity to scale, unfortunately. That's okay. Oh, this is taking quite a bit, but maybe getting out here. I'm totally fine with. On my Alpha Futures account, I already secured 2R. This will be around 1.5 if I'm not mistaken. How about not much room to work with. Not much room to work with. If we put a short-term low here, that's a really good sign that we're going to take the buy side. I'll open chat here because there's going to be no more trade management on my half. So let's see what chat is saying. Did you guys take any trades? Good trade for you. I'm out for the today. Going to get a sub. Which type of sub, bro? Nice trade. Shet Hogman. What's up, Lori? Caught the upside pre and post. 5R total. Very well done. Very well done, bro. How do you embrace losses? You just have to understand that every trade has a unique outcome, and you just have to trust your edge long term. I'm on the same one as you, just a bit lower entry. Nice, bro. How much you make? Around 1K. I took the first short over here. Did you re-enter? Nope, I didn't take any entries. My protraction model never really formed, so I couldn't really add any positions to this trade. I took the stuff from the inverse of the first presentation. 951. Nice. It's not a bad trade. How do you take partials? I close. If I'm in longs, I short to pick partials. All of them copy you. Of course, they're in a trade. There's a good chance, yeah. What was the reason for entry? I was bullish. We got a protraction model in the 1050 macro. Simple. Same stuff as always. How do you switch time frames so fast? You can just type it in, the one that you want to see. So 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute. You can just type. You held through news trade, that's out to break even. Nice, bro. Nice, yeah. When did you turn profitable? I don't know. You don't turn profitable. You just show up every day, be consistent, and you'll be profitable. I don't think you just I turned profitable on May 2023. I don't think it works like that. You simply show up every day, you stay consistent, you master your attitude and your mental, and you be profitable. I took the 5 minute inversion after price swept out sell side. Nice, yeah. As long as you followed your model. If your model something to do with that wrong first FEG. Today was the advanced one. Yeah, I mean, maybe according to ICT, sure, but for me, I've backtested over almost 1,000 trades with this first presentation. I'm using this one. I don't care if ICT said at this point. I already have the data on this. And in that same video, he said you can still use the the first one that forms an RTH. So it's fine either way if you want to take it off ICT's information. Yeah, I went short off the unicorn model, then got stopped at price when at 10 people. It's been a bad trade. News at 10, entered at 944. You got stopped at... Your stop just didn't cover the high, that's all, bro. It's sloppy. Yeah, I agree this is sloppy. But, I mean, this is Venom. If you studied ICT's Venom model, right? Usually you get a stab through back the inversion, and then the next time it goes below, or you just put your stop at the high, right? It's nothing wrong with it, Amy. It's just your stop has to cover the high. Or, you know, that's all. Same thing that happened to me here, right? So the real stop loss, listen, I'm going to tell you guys, let me put you guys on. The real stop loss is if we close above the body. That's the exact same concept I was using right here, where I almost got stopped out as well, but I didn't. Because why? Because, well, did we close below the body? I marked out this line, and I said if we close below the body, at that point it's dead. We didn't close below the body. Same thing happens here. The body is what tells the story. So, and what is this, bro? Can we not just run the buy side? We're really going to consolidate for 10 minutes. More. Almost. Anyway, there. We got out of the trade there. Closed our limit orders. That's trade terminus. Can you withdraw first alpha to a trade and drawdown? Yep. You don't need a buffer. You can take your first one out. Nice trade, bro. The matter for me is how to reprice. Nice job. Yep. It was a good trade. It was. I mean, it's the same trade. People always say nice trade, nice trade. It's the same trade I always take. Sometimes it plays. Sometimes it doesn't. There wasn't any scaling opportunity, so we didn't manage to catch any more risk to reward. So it was about like it was like 2 on alpha, and then like I think this was like a 1.5. I guess we can check the P&L here because I'm kind of curious at this point. What is this? This was on Apex, yeah, but I took it on alpha as well. Bro, I can't put a trade on, but I can't put a trade on, but I can't pass my evil. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You almost hit the stop loss? Yeah, it almost came to my stop loss. You're correct. What's your PM model? It's a silver bullet protraction model. What confirmation did you use? I entered off the order block. Second stage, reaccumulation. You're right. That's exactly what it is. No need for buffer. No need for buffer, bro. That's why I use them. That's why I use them. When you take your first payout with alpha, how much drawdown you have? It depends how much you leave in the account. If you make 500, you take out 500, you have 1,500. What time is Silver Bullet PM session? It's 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern time. Is this ES? No, I took the trade on the NASDAQ. I only trade NASDAQ. I will use ES always, but I only take it on. Oh no, maybe? What do you mean, oh no, maybe? Took the same trade. How do you better your psychology? It's a process. I think reading, honestly, is a big part of it. The thing about psychology that I think people don't realize is you have to actively try to improve it. It's not something you can just show up and you think it's going to get better. You show up every day. Yeah, if you do that, it's going to take 7 years. You know, there's people who trade for like 10 years and they've never been profitable. And they still think it's their model or they need more information. Like, bro, it's obviously in here, you know? You have to actively try to improve your attitude and the way you view market and money. So, simple. By the way, -2 deviations already met, so I can't even really demand much more than that on this protraction. Got off the first presentation high 1 minute. Yep, pretty much the same. Do you look for trades on PM even when you trade already up? I will look on the I will look at the AM PM. Yeah, my PM model is really high win rate, so I don't mind. Can I ask what you use 930 open price for? And use 930 indication. I frame all my models around 930 opening price because I'm trading the 930 power of 3, which is the 4-hour candle in regular trading hours. So you see this entire session, that's what I'm trading, right? 930, it starts right here. This is regular trading hours. Session starts. This is the PO3 I'm trading. I'm trying to find this, right? And if I miss this and I'm bullish, I try to find this, which is this right here. That's all of us. 930 protraction model. It's exactly what it is right here. Exactly in the book, exactly in the YouTube video, exactly in all that. That's what I study. Do you have a video about your PM Silver Bullet model? I know you talked about live yesterday, but I don't know the timestamp. It's at the end of the live stream yesterday. I don't have a video on it. But it's very simple. The reason I don't have a video on it is because those who watched all my other videos, when I say my PM model is a Silver Bullet protraction model, they should know what it means because all that information is on my YouTube. So if you know what that means, then you would know exactly what it is. Simply looking for a protraction model from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I'll say at least 5 out of 10 times I finish my PM trade within the first 30 minutes. It's usually like a 5-minute trade. It's a very usually quick 1 hour trade. That's usually how I take it. You said you sized down with 20. I'm curious what's your normal max. This is a 250K account, so that's why 20 is sized down. Also, the stop loss was not that large on the trade. It was like 20 points. So, can you put the Discord in the chat link? The link won't work. The link works. You just have to open it in browser. But the link does work. You just have to open it in browser. And you can see here, price starting to potentially retrace even lower. So we got out pretty much really well. I use Alpha Futures. That's my main prop firm. But this account you're seeing, this is an Apex account. I'm not going to lie. The only reason I use the Apex account is so I can execute on TradingView for you guys so you guys can see. I make content, not only trade. So I want to be able to execute on TradingView. Obviously, I can use the demo trade, but I mean, they had a 20. I might as well just get the 250K account, see what we do with it. Was the last 30-minute considered a buy program? Yeah, 1050 macro. This is 100% a buy program. I mean, this whole move is a buy program. It's just not the quickest move, right? We have a lot of distortion in here. And exactly like I said I expect 1050 macro to deliver now. That's why this trade was high probability. It's not because of the setup, it's because of the macro. We have consolidation here. We got the SMT. It's exactly what I said. So I think the macro is going to distribute higher. Can it sell? It can, but I wouldn't go sell. I wouldn't short when we have all these equal highs up here. Great, look at that 1049 the FET when inverse ticket sales. It's a good setup. The inverse at 1050, yeah, that's right there. 1053. You entered long right now. It might make a lower low here. There is a 5-minute, but I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Can I enter now? Can you go over your PM session model? Yeah, you know what? If you guys stayed this long, I'll go over the PM session model. But I'm only gonna do it like this. It's really simple, okay? The reason for the long, very simple, brother. Ready? Very simple. Let me do a quick trade recap of the long. Very simple. I trade 930 power of 3. This is what 930 looks like in regular trading hours. 930 opening price. Look at the dotted line. That's where we started. We went up, we went down, and I'm bullish, right? I'm bullish. That's the most important part. So this is the price action. We went up, we went down. Now, when we went down right here, I was looking for a reversal. I almost pushed the button, but my model didn't form, so I didn't take the reversal. So what do I have to do? If I missed the entry from here, simple. I wait for a protraction model. Price retraced. Now, mind you, when I say retraced, what actually happened was this. Okay? We still retraced. It just took some time to form. It took around 30 minutes. Why? Well, we have a macro right here, so it makes sense. This is very simple. This is the model. And I trade the order block or the inversion right here. This is my protraction model. So that was the reason for the trade. We had an SMT, which is kind of a bonus, 1050 macro, below New York opening price, which is right here. So literally exactly like I drew it here. The buy side, this will get taken. If it doesn't get taken, I'd be really, really surprised. I would say 95 out of 100 times this gets taken. It will get taken this session at some point before 1:30 p.m. That's just my opinion. Obviously, it's not guaranteed. I never look for the guaranteed, but there's a very high probability chance just because of how the Power 3 works. And I'm bullish higher time frame, right? So that's it. That's the model. Protraction model. It's on my YouTube. Okay, my PM silver bullet protraction model. I'm gonna talk about it once, and then I'm gonna journal, and that's it. 2 p.m. So let's pretend this line is 2 p.m. Eastern time. 2 p.m. EST. You don't take a trade before 2 p.m. It's very simple. If you're bullish, right? This is my PM protraction model. And I'm not going to record this. I'm not going to post it anywhere. It's only because you guys stayed in the live stream. 2 p.m. Eastern time. You don't take anything before. Wait for 2 p.m. If you're bullish, it's so simple. There's nothing more simple than this. If you're bullish, wait for a bullish fair value gap to get tapped. It doesn't matter when the fair value gap formed. The only criteria is it taps the fair value gap after 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's step one. Now, The only criteria for the fair value gap is it couldn't have been inversed before. So if this fair value gap was a bullish fair value gap, and price did this, but then we did this, this does not count. I don't want to use any reclaimed fair value gap. I want one that was been respected the whole time. That's step 1. Bullish. Step 2. 2 p.m. Eastern time, bullish fair value gap tap. So whatever, I don't know. Most of the time it's gonna look something like this. Okay? This is like option 1 of how it forms. Then, how do I enter the trade? The first inversion or the first order block, leaving the fair value gap, I'm in it. I enter at the close, stop loss at the swing low. If it's a really large wick, I do a soft stop, just like this, at a body close. So if we close below the body here, I would have closed the trade, but it did not close. So stop loss at the wick, and it's 1R. You can aim for more. There are specific various scenarios when you aim for more, but the purpose of this model is to give me really high win rates and something I can fall back to as like a consistent base hit when I miss something in the morning, or that's the idea. So usually I'm fixed 1R. Over 500 backtest trades, the win rate's been around 70 to 80. Sometimes I have the wrong bias, that influences the win rate. But if you have the right bias, for the most part, you're good. A lot of the time, you have the wrong bias and it still plays out. So this is pretty much the model. This is the one way it can form. The second way it can form is there's no fair value gap here, but we put in a bullish fair value gap. So let's say we do this. Again, past 2 p.m., we put in a bullish fair value gap. If we tap that and get this, exact same thing, you go long. So for the trade that formed, for the trade I took yesterday, we tapped the bullish fair value gap. This is the order block. Now I waited a little bit longer. I waited for this inversion. Once we got that inversion, and I know there's a volume imbalance here, but it closed really close, so I'm kind of like repredicting the inversion. But we already got the order block, so I didn't have to wait for more. I didn't have to wait for more confirmation. I just wanted to see that this inversion was going to potentially displace. I entered. Stop covered like here, and I'm 1R. That's it. Simple. So simple. It's the most simple model. You only have 1 hour of execution. There's only 2 criteria. I guess 3 criteria. And that's it. I always do it. It doesn't matter what time frame the fair value gap's on. It doesn't matter what time the inversion of the order block's on. You just have to stay aligned. So if you find a 2-minute inversion, you still have to put your stop at the 2-minute low. You find a 1 minute, I usually do it on the 1 minute. I'm always on the 1 minute, but that's just me. That's legit PB Trade's mech and discretionary model. I mean, maybe it is, but if so, that's fine. It's also my protraction model, so I don't know. Does he trade the order block as well, or the inversion only, or doesn't matter? Whoever's model is, doesn't matter. I mean, they're all from ICT's teachings. I don't know who. I know PB Trades is the guy who has 10 years experience. He's a good guy, by the way. I like some of his teaching. I like his TikToks. W-Trade, you put yourself to be after him. Did you put yourself to be after? I'm not sure what you're saying. This guy's a goat. Where can I get your course faster? But what are you talking about? You trading tomorrow? No. Tomorrow is a no trade day. 2 wins on the week already. Tomorrow is a no trade day. I will be live. Maybe. Most likely, yes. And I will tape read that I will not be trading tomorrow. So in my journal, I've already given myself, and by the way, let's be honest, I'm going to give myself like a 9.5 today because that was really good patience. And in all honesty, let's be real. What could I have done better here? The stop loss placement was on point. The patience was on point. We called the macro. We called the move. We took profits when the market was telling us it's not likely to continue. Look at those profits, man. Obviously, it can still go higher. That's a 10. I mean, I don't like giving myself 10. But if I'm looking back, what could I have improved? I pretty much followed my plan 100%. And if you follow your plan 100%, that's a 10. It's not about TP or SL. It's about following your plan and reading price. Waiting for the inversion would have been more precaution. Here? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Once we get the inversion here, it's higher probability. That is correct. That is correct. But in terms of following my model, I like the risk reward on the entry here. So let's go back, put the daily outlook. So New York power of 3 model, this was a protraction. Midnight Power 3 model was also a protraction because our daily low was put in. I don't know the net P now. We'll check it out. I think it was 1K on the 100K. Trade breakdown. One. Simple. Honestly, 1050 macro. Protraction model. Be at the short-term low. Time distortion. Into the macro. Higher. I'm gonna say HRLR conditions. Trade management prevailed. Usually I don't leave that little bit. I leave that kind of. Actually, I don't even need to put that. I'll put that elsewhere. Just the model there. So to reflect, not an easy day. A lot of back and forth. Seemed quite high resistance. Lack of setups took long to form. But the patience paid off. Free market plan, for the most part, was correct. The patience paid off, and FFD macro delivered. I'll go back and put the executions. There was a win. So we'll do all that stuff after. So yeah, for tomorrow, I'm already journaled it as a no trade day. So after 2 p.m., only bullish to look out for, or bearish as well. It all depends on your bias. If you're bullish, look for a bullish for value gap. If you're bearish, look for a bearish for value gap. That's all. Very simple. Anyways, let's take the here screenshot. Be just posting the journal in the Discord, but that probably is gonna calm my session. I'll keep posting examples in my journal. Last thing I'll say, if you guys don't know, we are doing a giveaway in the Discord, giving away PC, chair, and monitor. All you have to do is use my code on any Alpha Futures account. So if you do use my code, just send me a message on Discord so I know. That way I can add you in the giveaway. It's not like automatic or anything. There's about 12 people entering the giveaway right now. The winner is going to be announced Monday, June 16th. And if you get an advanced account, there's no activation fee, so you can take advantage of that as well. And it's also a 10% off, so you might as well use the code because you get the discount as well. And then obviously the giveaway, but if you get, for some reason, don't want to be entering the giveaway, completely up to you. I will most likely trade the PM session here, try to get 1R. I won't aim for more than 1R, especially because I took a win. You think we take previous day PM lows? I was originally looking for that, but I kind of just had to go with what it showed me. And we got S&T at low of day. We got a really strong reversal idea. Do I think we're going to take it? It's possible. The thing is, I'm still bullish, and I don't have... There's not enough volatility for the market to do, like, again, you know? I don't think we have that kind of juice, unless there's some sort of earnings today post-market that I don't know about. So, it could. It could also be saved for Thursday or Friday. Because a lot of the time what happens, Thursday induces shorts, and then Friday reverses. So we could just be engineering liquidity for Thursday and Friday. Like NFP is gonna be the main play for the week now. I don't think anything significant is gonna happen until NFP, at least higher. But that's just me. I could be incorrect on that notion as well. So, which broker do you use? I use Interactive Brokers. Are you live on PM? No, I usually don't go live on the PM, but I will post in the Discord what I'm looking for. I will say it very simply, like hourly bullish for value gap, wait for a protraction 1 hour from there. Performance, if it doesn't. Do you size in heavier on PM since it's lower? No, I don't size in heavier, no. Size is the exact same. After 2 p.m. only bullish if you to look out for. Yeah, you gotta look for both. It depends on your bias. Why is tomorrow no trade day for you? Tomorrow is a no trade day because it is the day before non-farm payroll. So if you don't know what non-farm payroll, it's pretty much one of the strongest news drivers that come out every single month on the U.S. economy, and it plays a really large impact. So why is that important for Thursday, which is the day before? Usually the day before, I'll explain it like this. There's a huge party on Friday, and everyone is going to go. Everyone, bro. All the big ballers who are going to drop their money on the party, they're all going Friday. Is anyone gonna show up to the party on Thursday? No, they're not. They're gonna sit tight, they're gonna rest, and they're gonna come participate on Friday, right? That's pretty much the narrative there. No one wants to participate on Thursday because they know Friday's where all the fun is at. That's where everyone's gonna show up with their wallets and spend money and shit. So, now sometimes you can get nice price runs on Thursday, but like I've been saying all stream, it's all about probabilities and edge, and the probabilities are simply lower on the day before non-farm payroll for my model. The range expansion is a lot less, so it's harder to catch like a decent trade. How do you copy your trades between Alpha and Apex? I do TradingView, and I have a second monitor for Alpha. I will not be taking any trades tomorrow. What do you use to backtest? I use TradeZella to backtest. If you guys don't use TradeZella to backtest, you're trolling, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't use that word ever, but you're lacking. You're behind. You gotta backtest. It's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as that. You gotta backtest. Look, this backtest has 550 trades. You can use Forex Replay, but it's really just not the same. The amount of features and data and everything you get from TradeZella, it has literally every single feature. On top of that, let me show you the most important part. I'm going to show you the most important part right now. The most important part is, no, it's not free, unfortunately. It's not free. If you need a free one, I would use Trader Casa. That's probably your best bet. 1 second chart, you can play the candles like this. So it's pretty much like real-time data, bro. Like, you can't get better than this. Like, you can watch the candle print. Like, you're basically live trading at this point. There's not really anything different. You're basically live trading, and you can watch the candle print. I don't think people realize how important this little feature is, because now you can actually watch the candles print, and it's not gonna be like, you know, when people backtest, they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go long here, and then they just do this shit. Like, they're like, oh, come on, bro, be honest. You don't just keep the stop loss there and hold it and wait. Like, that's not how you backtest, you know? That is not how I traded this session. Not even close. Not even close. I had to read the candles minute by minute, look at the order flow signatures, understand. Like, you know, for example, I would still be in this trade if I just did this. Like, you know, that's not how I trade, you know? That was not the trade. It was something like that, but I don't know the price differences. I don't know the price differences, but it's up to you. In my opinion, I think TradeZella is better, but I don't know. Friday is definitely a trade day. I love trading NFP personally. I love trading NFP. So, yeah. On top of that, let me add something to that for TradeZella for those of you saying maybe it's not worth it. I mean, it's not that it's not worth it, but I'll tell you what another thing is. I'll show you guys right now, actually. I'll show you guys right now. So, on TradeZella, you can automatically journal your trades. Allow me to show you, okay? So, I'm going to click this button right here, resync. Hold on. So, you click here. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. You can can you show us your actual account? My live account? I mean, I can, but there's not much to see. What do you want to see in my live account, bro? If you would have to choose FX Replay or Trader Casa, well, Trader Casa is free. I would only use Trader Casa if you have $0 to your name and zero income, and you're trying to practice your trading. That's like the only reason I would do that. Okay, so you click Add Trade. Look, this is the easiest thing you can do, and all you have to do is drag this file. Boom. Now it's going to automatically sync all the executions and stuff. It'll automatically journal everything. It'll put it in your calendar. It'll give you progress trackers. You can even journal it if you want. Like here, if you come, it'll even give you a scale. You can put here, blah, 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 if you want. Now, I opt to use the Notion journal, but I do journal here. Like, I import the trades here so I can see the important stuff, like, you know, I mean, not the Zella score. I mean, this is low because there's not enough input. But for example, the win loss, the win weight, the average, the profit factor, trade win percentage, what days. If you go to reports, you get way more information too. They actually have a new report system, so You can get all this information too, equity curve and stuff. So, if you're gonna get the basic, I wouldn't bother. I would just get the premium. If you're gonna get basic, you might as well just get, because I mean you get all the features with the premium. You only use TradeZilla for backtesting, also journaling, both. Like I said, so I'm not doing this type of journaling where I'm talking, like texting, like typing in. I'm doing the journaling where I get data on all my trades, the win rate, the profit factors, all that kind of stuff. What's your account size? Which account? Which account are we talking? We're talking my futures account, my stock account, my alpha. What? If you had to choose, would you choose? Funded? Again, which one, brother? You only use TradeZilla? Yeah. So I use it for both. I mean, do you have any benefit? Do you get any benefits? You get a discount. Oh, do I get any benefits? I get like 5% commission, I think. Oh no, I think it's way more actually. I think I get 30%. So if you use my code for trading for TradeZilla, I get 30%. And you can get up to 20% off. My Alpha Futures account is 100K. It's almost like the same. It's pretty similar. To be honest, I don't know what FX Replay is. The difference. I used to use FX Replay. What I used to do is just spam the free trials on FX Replay. But I'll tell you why I stopped liking it is because I couldn't journal all my stuff in one go. Now, at least in my backtest, it all stays in one place. Can you do a breakdown on stock? Yeah, I already re-entered stock positions for this quarter. I'm in longs currently Nvidia, Google, and AMD stock. I was in Palantir, but I ended up closing break even on Palantir. Not because I don't believe in Palantir, but because I think I want to use that money to enter more Google or Nvidia. So I'm already in my first positions, and like I said, I'm not gonna re-enter. I'll join the Discord in a second, Ryan. I'm not gonna re-enter any positions unless we get a discount move. So if we just pump all the way to all-time highs on NQ, well, I'm not gonna get. Unfortunately, I won't be able to re-enter any stock positions, and I'll just take whatever percentage gain I get. I'm very, very conservative with my stock account. It's my real live money, my hard-earned money that I put into savings. I like to be really conservative. So I'm really conservative with my entries. I took my first entry on those 3 stocks. I will enter more should it come below, but I'm not gonna get FOMO. If it starts pumping, I'm gonna let it ride, and I'll close it when whatever gain I get. So usually what I do, I take my first position when Nasdaq's at a level where I can expect higher prices. So where was that? I took my first position. I believe it was Friday, May 23rd. It might have been Thursday. So it was like around this point of time when Nasdaq was dipping into this fair value gap. We were also in somewhat of a discount on Nvidia, so I'll show you. It was like right here. So I was like, okay, that's nice. I can get my first entry there. If it goes lower, that's okay. I'm gonna enter more, but it has to go lower. So far, it's literally look literally since I entered, it's been pumping. So no more entries. It's yes, it's smaller percentage gain, but I'd rather smaller percentage gain than chase a run. So how often do I go live? I go live every day, brother. I've been going live every day for like a year. What's that drop? I don't know. It could be anything. Volatility. Wow. I mean, it's really not that much. It's just 34 points. I mean, I guess in comparison to everything else, it's quite significant, but it happens. Bye, Hazel. So yeah, that's pretty much that. If you guys want to join the giveaway, again, let me know. If you use my code, I will enter you in the giveaway to win this stuff. This equates to around 2,000, I think, US dollars around. So that's the price if you don't want and you wanted to sell it. I think you can get around that much. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's somewhere around. I mean, the PC is better than my PC. And my PC was like over 1,000, so there's that. And besides that, that's pretty much going to be it for me today. Some people want the journal, so I will send you guys the journal template. If you want the journal template, just message me on Discord. Hold on, a lot of people want these journal templates, so I'm going to get this through. If you want the journal template, it's right there. You can get it from there too. Anyways, appreciate you guys coming through. I'm gonna cash out. I'm gonna go make some more food and call some people. So appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys live tomorrow, exact same time. And take care. Peace.